Okay, so for anyone that's interested in an update on the worst car that the car throttle guys ever worked on, here it is a couple of weeks on from when Gareth and Alex and I think it was a guy called Dick that worked on it as well from This Is Your Garage. Did some amazing work on the car. For those that haven't seen the video, um, basically nominated my dad to have his car, just done some work done on it, just to try and get it kind of road ready. They put new superstrut suspension in the front. They rebuilt calipers, new brake lines, tightened up some suspension issues, and gave it the good detail with Geon detailing equipment. The car looks amazing. Come back looking so much better. You really can't tell from necessarily watching the video how much brighter the car looks and how much cleaner it looks inside and out. It really was just sitting outside gathering dirt, and now it's looking like a really clean car. A couple of things that I want to show people, just anyone that's kind of a bit more interested in this car. It's actually a really unique colour. It's called Sea Spray, and I think there's maybe only 60 of them in this colour that were ever made. Although this is actually not quite the right colour. This has had a paint job. We reckon it's had a paint job, possibly as it came out of Japan, and it's not quite the right colour. I think there's 3 shades of Toyota Sea Spray, and I think whoever's painted it's painted the wrong one. It probably looked right when it was wet, but actually when you compare it with the strut, with like the strut towers and the structure of the car in the door shuts and stuff, it is slightly different colour. So the plans are moving forward with this car. Talked to my dad a bit about what he wants to do with it next. He's keen to get it back on the road, keen to get it kind of in regular use. Took it for an MOT the other day. It does need some work doing on it, so we kind of cancelled the MOT to avoid advisories. My dad's really not a big fan of having advisories on MOTs, so just cancel the MOT, get the bits and pieces sorted on it, and we'll take it back once those are done. So things needing done for the MOT, I think there was some handbrake adjustment, which is a fairly minor, straightforward thing, and the other thing is it needs a sill. One of the sills has started to rot, which is one of the biggest enemies of this era of Japanese car. That kind of introduces a bit of an issue really, because by the time you put a new sill on it, then it means painting it, and my dad's not keen on painting it the wrong colour. So kind of weighing up the options really here between putting a new sill on it, getting them not to worry about the colour, and then in the future getting the whole car resprayed, or whether bites the bullet, gets it resprayed all at the same time. Quite a lot of work in respraying this car particularly, just because I want to make sure that anything that needs done to it is done before that. You don't want to be going back in and finding issues, so it's a case of really having a really good look through all the panels, anything that wants to be replaced. If there's any wings that are slightly rusty on the insides or anything like that, they're worth doing before they respray, just to make sure that it's as sound as it can be. Any door bottoms, one of the door bottoms is slightly starting to bubble, so maybe looking for a new Gen 6 Celica door. A lot of the body panels on it are just standard Gen 6 Celica panels, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue to find. It's mainly the differences are obviously the body shell's different, having a rear diff, a drive line, the bonnet's different, the I don't know whether the front and rear arches are different or not, I'm not sure, but there's a lot of shared components with the standard Gen 6 Celica, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue to find it. The other thing that my dad's looking at getting done is having the underside of the car completely cleaned back to bare metal, and repainted, and also getting the subframes blasted, repowder coated, and put back together again, just to kind of take it up to the next level and protect it for the future going forward. And other than that, possibly looking at some different wheels for it. The wheels are, I'll just show you, they are factory option OZ alloy, which was selected from Toyota, so it probably has had these wheels since it was brand new. But we reckon that actually with that colour, the white doesn't really do it any favours. With a black one or a white one in that colour, it probably would look pretty good. But we reckon with this lighter colour, the some dark sort of anthracite coloured wheels, possibly the OZ wheels still, but they've all got like little square holes in them round the old motorsport wheels, very much like what was on the WRC. Some of those might suit it more. Other than that, it's just a case of tidying up the little bits and pieces that it needs a new shifter boot internally. The boot trim has got a couple of bits that are cracked, so looking for some new boot trim. Think that these are the same boot trim as the non-GT-FOUR, but I'm not sure. And other than that, it's just a case of giving it a good, I think it wants a new cam belt and get the cam cover gasket done, because it looks like it's slightly weeping. We reckon that some of the issues they had with the spark plugs in the video where it wasn't boosting is possibly because the cam cover's leaking and there's like, fairly sure it's the same on this, but on a lot of Toyota engines, a lot of petrol engines, they have little seals around the spark plug hole, so I reckon there's probably a bit of oil getting down the spark plug tube and then covering the spark plug in oil, which is obviously not making it run that great. So although it works perfectly at the moment, it's probably because it's cleaned out new plugs and they haven't been burning with oil on them. So that's the thing it probably wants to do, is a timing belt and cam cover gasket and spark plug tube gaskets. Other than that, then it's a case of getting MOT'd. There's a lot of work there, and judging by the way things went when the car throttle guys did it, these have earned their name, the Toyota FAF, well and truly, by being not the easiest thing in the world to work on. One other bit of information is there's a website called CarVX Report where you can actually get, it's a bit like a history check that you'd get in the UK on a car, like through HPI or something like that, but it's for Japanese import cars. When we ran the check on this car, we can get actually the auction report from when it came into the UK. It hasn't done many miles since it's been in the UK, but it was interesting to see what comments were made on them auction reports when it came into the UK. Sadly, we were a bit gutted by this. It says on the auction report that it has factory Recaros. It doesn't anymore. It also had an aftermarket steering wheel. It doesn't anymore. And it said it had no head unit in it, which it now does have some kind of Kenwood number. But other than that, it seems to be, it came through at 3.5 with a B grade interior, I think, which is actually not bad at all. So it means it was pretty good condition when it came into the UK. And the interior is really nice on it. There's, I'll just swap the camera around. It really is pretty nice inside. There's not too much signs of wear. The seats are in really good condition and they all match with the rear interior. There has been a boost gauge fitted on the dash, which is a bit cheesy, and I don't think it works properly. It does show, it reads, but the backlight doesn't seem to work. It's 122,000 kilometres. It does read in miles per hour now, but it wasn't reset when it was obviously put into kilometres, so it's a mixture of miles and kilometres. We were able to do some calculations and it is under 100,000 miles. It's like 80-something thousand miles. But there's not any real signs of damage or wear on the car. It's pretty good shape for its age, which is good. So I've had a few new subscribers recently, and I say that like I've actually got loads. I haven't got very many subscribers. I think somewhere around 200 and something subscribers, so I'm not exactly dizzy in car throttle fame yet. But just be interesting to see who's watching these videos and what your comments are on them, any feedback. If your feedback's that you don't like them, that's fine, but maybe let me know what I can do better. If you just don't like them, then don't watch them. But if you think that there's any bits and pieces that we could make them better, that'd be cool. Obviously there's this car that we cover on the channel. There's my imported Toyota Alphard that I've done a fair bit on the channel. There's also my Mark III MR2 2ZZ swap that's in progress at the moment as well. If you'd like to see some more of that, just let us know in the comments and I'll try and cover a bit more of those. But if you've been watching this video, thank you very much, and give us a like and a comment and a subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. Cheers.